Alright, so the Rakdos cast was actually trying to quantify how expensive Magic the Gathering is for people who don't live in the United States. If we take a look here, it was a Twitter post. How many hours one must work at minimum wage to buy Magic? So it was comparing Brazil to the United States. Apparently the Brazilian currency doesn't go that far. Innistrad Crimson Vow pre-release kit. It would take 4 hours at minimum wage in the United States, but almost 27 hours in Brazil. And Innistrad Midnight Hunt draft booster box would be 15 hours of work in the United States, but 117 hours in Brazil. The set booster box, 16 hours in the United States and 134 hours in Brazil. And if we just go, the collector booster box, 30 hours in the United States, but almost 250 hours in Brazil. And then the Modern Horizons 2 draft booster box, 32 hours. That's like 4 days. So if you basically work a week, you can afford a Modern Horizons 2 draft booster box. But for Brazil, it's 263. If you divide that by 8 hours of a working day, that's it's like working for more than a month straight, no breaks. You can buy yourself a Modern Horizons 2 draft booster box. Just insane. Prices and salaries as of October 2021. Average sealed product prices from Brazil and TCG Player USA. Both sites now show prices from several local game stores. Just that disclaimer over there. And what's hilarious is there are so many, I think Brazilian players are I don't know, in my top 5 of most viewed viewers. They love Magic down there in Brazil. They're somehow making it work. They're dedicated people over there. And we see a lot of Brazilian streamers. I mean, we've got Matthews34, the Eldrazi Master, grinding away those ticks. Earning the ticks probably can earn these booster boxes faster than working minimum wage. Anyway, welcome everyone to the morning show, Coffee and MTG. I am your host, Nikachu, the Merfolk Master. Good morning. And what is a morning? What is Coffee and MTG without our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com? The deal of the week this week is you get a 35% trade-in bonus, so if you have cards to sell, and it doesn't have to just be for Magic, it can be for Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Flesh and Blood, they take everything. You got it, they'll give you a price for it, and they'll give you an additional 35% with this week's deal of the week trade-in bonus. And if you ever purchase anything from Fusion Gaming Online, they sell basically everything. You don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to save 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. And the reason the metagame changes so quickly and basically dissolves immediately to the best deck, because you don't need to buy into decks anymore. You don't have to worry about the cards getting banned, because your cards don't get banned. Mana Traders cards get banned. You rent the deck, do whatever you want, take it straight to tier 0 without the worry of the cards getting axed, because you never owned it in the first place. And if something gets banned, you just move on to the next best deck. You can support the channel renting with Mana Traders with using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 15% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu. Alright, good morning everyone. Morning. Good morning everybody. Gold Medals, Wet Willie. Good morning Ventrix. Good morning Aztec Guy. Frederick, Call of Doodle. Good morning Kaya. I can't believe that Nikachu got so sick of our whining about the cost of mana that he's sending us all to. I'm not sending you to Brazil. Just letting you appreciate how far your money goes, so long as you're not from Brazil. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Adam. Good morning, Monster. Mikey J starting off. Remember, 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question. Helps me find your questions amongst all the comments I'm getting on my social media channels. But if you're on YouTube, on Nikachu MTG streams, you can donate with a super chat and your question gets pushed to the top of my feed. Good morning. I think it's bold of Nikachu to make a video titled "The Cost of MTG in Brazil" and then admit it's likely an accident. What do you mean? Oh, I see what you mean. I gotcha. Yeah, I know. A judge ragged on me for my title talking about Nerd Rage Gaming. It's sort of an inside joke, though. Kaisered, you should check much time cost to buy a single draft booster box in Venezuela. It's hilarious. I guess it's even worse. I don't know that many MTG players from Venezuela, though. So I guess maybe they chose Brazil because there's actually quite a large Magic community over there in Brazil. But maybe you can make your own post about Venezuela. You spend a year to get a Modern Horizons 2 booster box. I don't know what the wages are like over there. Was away yesterday playing Magic outside. Was it in the parking lot? Like Mike Long. Spectre, Coffee and MTG brought to you by Coffee, just regular coffee, no brand or anything for some reason. Well, yes, no coffee sponsor yet. I'm open, people. I'm open. Starbucks, Tim Hortons, McDonald's. You know, I don't even drink Tim Hortons anymore. But Tim Hortons, if you laid an offer, all of a sudden I say, I drink Tim Hortons every day because I'm Nikachu, and if you want to be like Nikachu, you drink Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is not bad, but like it's, you know, a long time ago it was like, oh, it was everything. It's like they put some sort of drug inside there, and then secretly they removed the drug because the government told them to. The Brazilian government would like a word with you, Nikachu, after your statement. Earning ticks is better than working at minimum wage. Hey, don't look at me. Look at the grinders on Magic the Gathering Online. Unless they want to know some inside information. But I'm not squealing on anyone. Except I accidentally squealed on Matthews34. Sorry about that. Don't worry, you can claim all of this income as, like, streamer income. Preview season are excited for Vampires Galore. Good morning. Yeah, well, it's interesting to see if we can get any great new vampires. And previous season starts tomorrow, I think? I don't think it starts today. Well, let me look at Mythic Spoiler to be sure. I haven't seen any spoiler. I don't see anyone going, spoiler that. No, we don't got nothing. Nothing yet. Okay, we're still waiting. Pancho Hernandez. What will you use on Vegas? Simic or Mono Blue? Mono Blue. Almost definitely Mono Blue. I think there's too much removal in the format to go Simic. I don't think being fast is going to mean anything. I gotta tempo people out. I think tempoing people out is going to be more important than speed. If the format were like these sort of slow combo decks and Tron and stuff like that, then we could go that direction, but it's too much removal. I'm not going to win quickly, so I just have to make sure I don't die. The only matchup this is not going to work against is Elementals. Elementals would just beat the snot out of me anyway. The Elementals is the only deck I think also I want to try to race, but I still don't think it's even going to be successful. Matthews, how many hours must a Brazilian work minimum wage to pay for a guaranteed deck list review? It's $25 US. So I don't know which one of these is worth $25 US. Maybe this one, the pre-release kit? Is that 25 US? Something here is $25 US. Okay, no, I guess it's this one. Because what's the minimum wage in the United States? $6? Pending your state. 6 times 4 is like 24. So I guess you have to work 26 Brazilian hours for a guaranteed deck list review. Wet Willy. Nikachu and my Jun boys, which is better for the metagame right now for Boomer Jun? Dothy, Voidwalker, or Scavenging Ooze? I would say Voidwalker. Well, no, you can't you have both? Like Scavenging Ooze, I don't like Scavenging Ooze, but it's not bad. Like it turns off Delirium for the Dragon Rage Channeler, makes Murktide Regent harder to cast. But it's so mana, like it requires so much mana. Like if you play the, even if you were to play the Ooze to deal with your opponent's Dragon Rage Channeler, it needs to live. What are the odds of that happening? You know? What's the cost of a draft booster box in Zimbabwe? 200 trillion. That is such a good question. Well, but we're not curious about the currency. We're talking about hours worked. Yeah, Zimbabwe. $200,000 for... I sort of want to look up, like, Zimbabwe eBay, if such a thing exists, and to see if anyone's selling any Magic products there. Is it, it's time to get some more interesting looking mugs? Maybe. Oh, I don't even have my branded mug here. Oh, I have it over here. It's dirty. I have a branded mug. Here's a branded mug. You can get it now without my name on it. You can get it without Nikachu MTG at Teespring. I think there's info in the description where to get the sweet looking mugs. 7-Eleven coffee criminally underrated. Interesting. I should go to 7-Eleven. I would not be surprised if 7-Eleven was had some underrated coffee there. I should try it out. Yeah, I'm suddenly really curious. I have a 7-Eleven not too far away. I could check it out. I heard McDonald's stole Tim Hortons' supplier, so they had to change. That's an interesting theory. I didn't hear that one. I heard... Now, this is pure rumor. I heard, like, because McDonald's had a coffee, right? They now have a coffee. Now, the supplier of this coffee bean proposed it to Tim Hortons first. Like, do you want to buy this coffee bean? And they're like, no. And then they went to McDonald's, and McDonald's said yes. This is pure rumor, though. Like, I heard this from some guy in a taxi cab. But I thought that was an interesting story. Mikey J, remember, it's about cashing in, then you don't really have to drink the shitty coffee you take the money from? What? Oh, so I just say I drink Tim Hortons coffee, but I'm just drinking my own stuff, and I'm making bank, and all the other suckers are drinking the bad coffee. No, truth be told, Tim Hortons is not bad, but, you know, Tim Hortons gave me a really good buzz when I was younger. It was like, there was something mysterious in that coffee. It worked. It's a coffee that's like, I don't really enjoy the taste of Tim Hortons, but if I'm like sleep deprived and I need to get through the day, Tim Hortons is going to do the job. Like, it will do the job. I've got that for Tim Hortons. I got Tim Hortons back on that. Can a vampire deck ever be modern viable? I think they're modern viable now. Like, I'm getting I got a 3-2, it's a crappy 3-2, but like I got a 3-2 in last league with vampires, and I've gotten 5-0s. I've gotten a 5-0 with vampires before. It's very viable. So I mean, the question is it tier 1? No, but is there enough to, you know, get in the game and earn ticks online? Yeah. You can sleeve up that Bloodghast. You get in there with the. Vampire Nocturnus is actually a lot better than I thought. I thought it'd be a clunky piece of shit. It's actually really good. It's basically the spreading seas of the deck. Plus, it's a creature. It gives you the ability to, like, attack for the win out of nowhere with a bunch of random garbage on the battlefield. So it's the Lord of Atlantis of the deck. I will give that to the vampire crowd. They were right about that. I would probably build... I wouldn't say every vampire build needs Vampire Nocturnus, but I would do it. The big coffee chains here are Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks. I had one coffee. See, what I like to... I judge coffee houses based off their house coffee, like the house brew, like the cheapest, crappiest stuff that they have to offer. That's what Nikachu buys all the time. So I bought that from Dunkin' Donuts, and I thought it was terrible. I really thought Dunkin' Donuts coffee was just garbage. Now, like, again, I only drank the bottom of the barrel house brew, but I think Starbucks beats them out on that by a mile. Though, then again, if I go to Dunkin' Donuts, I'm probably going there for the donuts than anything else. Rudy! In Guatemala, the cost of a regular booster box is 1/3 of a minimum wage. Good God. The cost of a regular booster box is 1/3 of a minimum... What do you mean, like a paycheck? Have you considered Blue White Fish at all for Vegas? Nope. For what? Unsettled Mariner? We're in a weird spot. Like, I really believe in my heart that we gotta tempo people out. Tempo. Tempo is the key in Modern at the moment. For Merfolk, at least. It's their route to victory. So if we play things like Unsettled Mariner, it gives us crappy protection, by the way. I never felt like Unsettled Mariner gave me really good protection. But it can never impact the board. It can never win on... It's literally a grizzly bear, so if I'm in a race, I'm in a lot of trouble. And we gotta interact with the opponent's decks. I'm loving Harbinger of the Tides. Harbinger for the win. Stream starts in 2 hours. Sorry, that is what I meant. 2 hours? Ugh. What is it? Yeah, like Wizards has some sort of stream. We'll probably watch it tomorrow. You can watch it live today. We'll watch the replay tomorrow. The federal minimum wage is $7.25, and that's US dollars. It goes a long way. Oh, it was just a joke. We Brazilian. Oh, so what's the Brazilian price for Decklist review? You wanted to know. It's the same. Oh, we have a lot of questions here this morning. Wawa Coffee beats 7-Eleven coffee by a long shot. Well, now I gotta find Wawa. Well, where the hell is Wawa Coffee? I don't even know what this is. Make Wawa your local coffee shop. Who are you? I don't even know who you are. Food quality news. French vanilla decaf pumpkin spice. Is this like a gas station brand or something? I want to say this. It looks like Tim Hortons, to be honest. I mean, this has Tim Hortons vibes all over it. Let me show you Tim Hortons. Yeah, timhortons.ca. We're in Canada. See? They got the red thing going on. Freshly brewed. I mean, is Wawa owned by Tim Hortons? Tim Hortons is owned by Burger King. Does Burger King own Wawa? That would make a lot of sense to me. Wawa is like half gas station, half made to order food. There we go. Oh my god, looks like a knockoff. I know. Or it's just, or it's the same company, and they just cleverly changed the logo. Who owns Wawa? Oh, it's a gas station? Wawa gas station? Wawa Coffee is a brand freshly brewed coffee made by the Pennsylvania-based Wawa Incorporated. So they own their own store. There's a coffee wiki. There's no way this company stands on its own 2 feet. I guess it does. All right. You never know what you learn on Coffee and MTG. So sometimes we research Magic, sometimes we research coffee. Dr. Glass Bottle, thoughts on Cozy's Trickster as a 1-drop? It's terrible. I've never liked this card. No, actually, I mean, there was a brief moment I liked it in Legacy, but the metagame has moved so far away from this card being good anymore. Whenever an opponent shuffles his or her library, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Cozy's Trickster. So here's the problem. You play Cozy's Trickster, and then they just won't play fetch lands after that. Or when they crack their fetch lands, it'll be turn 5 or 6, and it won't even matter anymore. It's not like Champion of the Parish, where you get to determine when the +1/+1 counters happen and get in for an attack. You play Cozy's Trickster on turn 1, it'll be a 1/1 by turn 2. It'll be a 1/1 by turn 3. It'll be a 1/1 by turn 4. And your opponent will just play Horizon lands and Fast lands and Basic lands anyway. There's actually more non-fetch lands in Modern than ever before. There's not nearly as many fetch lands in the format as there used to be. Gary, which single archetype tribe do you think is the most viable across Modern, Pioneer, Legacy formats? Spirits probably. I mean, there's no spirits in Legacy. But you could probably make it work, and make it work fine. But that's probably the most. There's a great spirits deck in Pioneer. There's an okay spirits deck in Modern. There is no spirits deck in Legacy, but you could probably make it work. The other option I could think of is Elves. Elves is probably good, but that Elves looks very different from format to format to format. Like the Elves in Legacy look nothing like the Elves in Pioneer. Leonardo from Brazil. Good morning. Trevor Just, that's how you do it. The pump and dump. Talk Merfolk, but go to Vegas with a tier 0 deck. Oh, yes. Like every other influencer. You gotta play Merfolk! Merfolk this, Merfolk that. Here's my strategy guide. And then I show up with Murktide. Nikachu, you said you were playing Merfolk. Yeah, whatever. I changed my mind. I'm a big influencer. I don't care. What's next? We're gonna start selling NFT magic decks. I should create an NFT of like my deck list for Vegas or something like that. I'm drinking Ethiopian coffee roasted in Porto, Portugal. It's probably the good stuff. I certainly believe coffee must be better in at least in either the country of origin or countries very close. So those more tropical countries are, or not tropical. But what is it? Ethiopia? Where is it? No, all of a sudden, I think this one's in Africa. Yeah, it's in Africa. Less tropical. Actually, a good question. Do they make coffee in Africa? I don't know anymore. I know in South America there's a lot of coffee being made. Whatever, hot climate. If there's two things I'm terrible at, one of them is learning another language and the other one is geography, so don't count on me for any of this stuff. If you give me a random country, I don't know where it is. You drop me off at any point in the world, or even outside my city, I can't find my way back home. It's over. This is hilarious. Okay, so 1 USD equals 362 Zimbabwe dollars. Interesting. Luis says, as a Brazilian Magic player who focuses on Modern, I can say that the format nowadays has a really big monetary barrier for new players. Oh, for sure. Well, for all new players. I really have no idea how you guys make it work. I mean, it sounds like, I mean, it's probably just a class thing. I mean, if you come from a wealthy family or you have a good job yourself, then you're just able to play Magic, and if you don't, then you can't. It's probably cheaper if you just play online. Grind, if you're good, grind ticks and then make your way from there. And that players usually have one pet deck that they keep mastering their skills with, which makes for some really good players and interesting metas. Well, I mean, that's like that all over the world. I mean, don't expect to go to Canada or United States or Europe and expect that things are very much different. I mean, some people have more than one deck, but for the most part, people just buy into one. Modern is still expensive even for, you know, all those other players. Why is online Magic so expensive? I want to play some Modern on Magic the Gathering Online, but who can afford to hundreds to play with virtual cards? The answer is mana traders. So it's a blessing and a curse. And it's not just mana traders, it's the other rental services. But the point is, everyone's renting. So the demand for renting cards goes up, which means they need to buy the cards. And to buy the cards and put them in their inventory, the supply outside their inventory keeps rising in price. So the actual cost of cards keeps going up. It becomes very, very expensive. But anyway, it's the rental services have bought up like most of the supply to meet the demand of the people that want to rent. It's a double-edged sword. But overall, it proves that people like to rent. Gold medal. We answered this one. First, Doys, do you think Chatterfang will eventually be viable in Modern outside of Squirrels? I haven't seen it, but it feels playable. Just nowhere to put it in your opinion. Yeah, it definitely could. It's a Storm card. It's cheap. Just doesn't have a home. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Okay, sorry. I thought you meant the Storm card. Okay, let me reevaluate this. Whoa. Let's back up for a second. Fucking legendary Squirrel Warrior here. Okay, 3 mana for a 3/3 Forest Walk. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus that many 1/1 green Squirrel creature tokens are created instead. Pay a black, sacrifice X squirrels. Target creature gets plus X minus X until end of turn. No. This card is unplayable. Unplayable is maybe strong, but it's not that good for 3 mana. I think for 3 mana, it's got to be like a... I don't want to be sacking my board to kill things. In some world, maybe it could be playable, but like it's going to depend more on the rest of the shell than the card itself. GPG, 1 peso cost $100 in Argentina. but we trade with an illegal dollar due to a market shenanigans in the past 5 years. Continues? Oh, okay. So like you buy things with Argentinian dollars is what you're trying to tell me? Is any tribal deck tier 1 or near tier 1 though? I feel like Modern Horizons 2 pushed out tribal decks. Yeah, have you heard of Elementals? It's Elementals time to shine. Elementary, dear Watson. Elementals is up there. And it's won many a tournament. Look, it won a trial at the Nerd Rage Gaming Series. A very a tournament series with full of integrity, and they run really good tournaments, and they're very strong. And watch out for the Nerd Rage Gaming Series. Good stuff from Nerd Rage Gaming Series. We only talk about good stuff about Nerd Rage Gaming Series on this channel. Never said anything bad. Anyway, so we've got the Elementals here. And, I mean, it's not what it used to be. Because now they just threw in old, like, the Modern Horizons 2 cards. Endurance, Fury, Solitude. They brought back Muldrifter, look at that. And they jammed in that Omnath. And another Omnath! Oh god, we don't have enough Omnaths in this stupid deck? Omnath, Locus of Creation. He's white! Then he lost his white. You can see he's white. He's more white in this image. You know, it's more light and yellow. And now it's more orange and green in this one, and blue. Anyway, yeah. Elementals is there. Are you dressing up as Lord of Atlantis for Halloween? No! No, I'm not. I am not doing that. Or I have nothing planned, I should say. I don't know. Maybe I'll wear a hat. I'll wear a hat for Halloween. Do you grind your own coffee beans or use pre-ground coffee? We use pre-ground coffee. It's just instant coffee. It's good instant coffee, though. Good stuff. Most coffee places put way too much sugary bullshit in their drinks. Well, I mean, but, you know, I'm older now, so I don't like the sugar nearly as much. But when I was younger, I mean, I couldn't get enough of it. I mean, half my coffee was sugar. And what's funny is I didn't gain any weight either. What do you think of these Yorian rhinos? What? Are the Cascade decks playing with Yorian now or something? I don't know what this is. I never heard of it. Matthew on a says on Aspiring Spike stream he said Merfolk is a good deck and is slept on. Oh, that's very nice of him. It looks like me bribing him to say that has paid off. Now listen to me and come to my channel where we talk all things Merfolk. Sorry if it's been asked, but what deck do you think will take SCG Con for Modern? Probably Hammer Time. It's probably Hammer Time. It's either going to be Hammer Time or Crashing Footfalls. Those would be my choices. But it's probably going to be... I would not be surprised. And this might be the beginning of Hammer Time's demise. Because now we got paper tournaments. And it's just funny. All the digital results, they don't mean anything. But paper... Oh, it is one thing, though. It is a split format between Standard and Modern. So if someone has a breakout great Standard deck that beats everyone else, then it's possible that the Modern results aren't going to matter. But it would not surprise me if there was like 4 to 5 Hammer Time in the top 8, just because everyone wants to get in on it. Aren't you okaying the Merfolk? The Merfolk god is great. I love Svelun. Never leave without her. Have you consider? No, I have not. Not in any decks I play. How do I feel about Esper Control? Pointless to play black. I mean, we've got Blue-Eye Control is doing great. They've got a winning formula here. The reason you would want to go Esper partially is because maybe Thoughtseize, maybe Inquisition, maybe Fatal Push. But we're trying to leverage Chalice of the Void here on 1. You know, we have more Chalices in the sideboard. Some people have 3 Chalices in the main deck. So that sort of undermines... Like, it wasn't until they started playing Chalice that this deck got back to, you know, winning. So, I mean, the Chalice formula is working. Chalice Control. So actually, Esper sounds like shooting yourself in the foot. Wizard of the Coast is doing their cringe fest of a promo video, and no, Nikachu, it's not good. No, they're having like a wedding, isn't it? It's not too bad. If they've got Becca Scott, it's good with me. She can cringe all over my day. You go to Jersey Shore, you can't miss the Wawa. Yeah, it's a gas station. It sounded like a gas station. And it looked like a gas station. I don't know, I could just spot it a mile away. That is gas station quality coffee. But now I gotta try it. I mean, you know, it depends. If there's like a cappuccino machine that can make like brew any other coffee, I actually have a lot of trust with those things. But if it's just some random crap in like a, I don't know, hot filter, and it can end up being terrible. Thoughts on Enchantress as a viable 5K option? People tried to make Enchantress work in the beginning. It looked like it had some momentum, but in the end, it's just too clunky. It's just too clunky right now, and they don't have enough to defend. I mean, there might be something there, like, for people to innovate from, but none of the Enchantress decks actually worked out. So you got Lord Magicus loves the sugary BS. I did when I was a kid, that's for sure. Which tribal deck do you think is the most resilient, capped being played longer? Merfolk, to be honest. I think Merfolk, well, I don't know. The community comes and goes with Merfolk, and it's been like that since like 2017. I mean, when I top 8'd GP Vancouver with Merfolk, I was like the only Merfolk player still playing Merfolk. A lot of people just completely gave up on the deck, thinking, Eldrazi is just better. What's the point of playing Merfolk anymore? But to some degree, I actually think Merfolk is the most resilient. You know, is it more popular than humans right now? Let's go look. Please let it be a little bit higher up than humans. Actually, Eldrazi, if we can call that a tribal deck, is also pretty resilient. Ad nauseam. Fuck! There's humans. Where's Merfolk? Oh no, are we on page 2? Oh no, we're on page 2. Wow, usually we can at least get 1%. I gotta play more often. Whatever. But I can say we're still there. We're still on a page. You can't say that about every tribe. You just can't. Where am I? There we go. And resilient is, I'm using a really loose definition of the term resilient. Everyone knows that Nikachu will dress up as a Richardson Dockhand for Halloween. I'm just gonna have a crate. I should just have the one of those fake arms holding a crate on my shoulder. Doomwake and Canister are making these Yorion piles, and they're super obnoxious. Good for them. Would you recommend that Cascade Creativity deck you tested for a series? I didn't test that thing. That was a Decklist review deck. I was paid to play that thing. Oh no, I didn't pay. I wasn't paid to play that one. That was a free one. That was a freebie. So, but just to prove, you know, just to show what Decklist review would look like. Yeah, I could partially recommend it. You know, if you're gonna, I would say if you wanted to play the Crashing Footfall deck, you might as well just play the regular Cascade deck. But if you're gonna play the Creativity deck, you might want to blend in a little bit of that Cascade action in there. Do you think Vegas will cause a card to get banned? If so, which one? Something from Hammer Time, I think. I don't really think Vegas is going to get anything banned, but if it does, it'll be from Hammer Time. Which card that is, I don't know. I don't know what they'd want to axe. I mean, maybe the Hammer. They might literally take the Hammer. Because you could, in theory, still play the deck with Nettle Cysts and It would be more fair, but you'd play with nettle cysts and cranial platings. Since playing paper Magic is different than playing online, are you doing anything to prepare for paper? I am not, and it is a bit scary. I don't really want to... I mean... Anyway, I'm just not going to be doing that much paper preparation. And it is going to be a huge disadvantage, because there's going to be all sorts of triggers that Magic Online did for me all the time that I'm just not going to think about in paper because, oh, Magic Online's just not doing it for me anymore. That's the biggest problem with playing online and then converting to paper. You start forgetting about your opponent's triggers or when they're supposed to happen. Like, I need to internalize what's supposed to happen in my mind at the very least to know exactly what's happening on the board. So the point is, you know, like, for example, this whole thing with the Risen Reef land going into hand and then being played. I might even have forgot that Risen Reef's land is supposed to come into play tapped when you played off of the Risen Reef. And if someone accidentally just put it into play untapped off of Risen Reef, I might not notice it because Magic Online was doing it for me the entire time. So, I mean, it's those things that I would only learn in paper that I never really learn online. I take for granted too much of what Magic the Gathering does for me. It's a major difference between paper and online. Way more meta decks online. Way more. And better players generally. Tin Horns or Starbucks? You know, I would Starbucks actually. I would go Starbucks. It's a little bit more expensive for their dirt cheap coffee, but I think it's better. Never we will see again Nikachu news when MTG News would allow it to make a comeback. There's a few problems with this. You know, Nikachu news has a greater chance of me getting banned. But second off, Nikachu news is very short-lived. If you notice, like a lot of my newer videos, they're not current topic related. They are like, I make them in such a way that, you know, you could watch it 10 years from now. Whereas I realize these news videos, they're very short-lived, and it was a lot of effort for this short-lived video. Isn't it crazy that Teferi is played over Jace the Mind Sculptor? I don't think it's crazy at all. Jace the Mind Sculptor is overrated. You're that Jace, you're overrated. No one wants you. No one likes you, Jace. I still like you. You're good for shuffling. You hear that shuffle? To some people, this is very soothing. To other people, it's like, oh my god, I can't stand the sound. They can't stand the shuffling of the cards. Why are they shuffling it so much? The shuffling! Good god, it's irritating the crap out of me. I can't even play tournaments because of the shuffling. It is an interesting thing I learned from my comment section. There's like 50% of Magic players just can't stand shuffling. It's probably just a good way to psych out people without technically cheating. Nikachu talking about Becca Scott sounds like Rudy talking about MTG card haircut. No, answer this one. Emiron, when it comes to people talking about cringy promo ads, I've got news for you. We're mostly all adults playing a child's card game. No, we're not. We're not. I'm gonna have another talk about that until I get this out of you, get this out of your brains. And it doesn't get much more cringe than that. We are not playing a children's card game. Were you nuts? Well, where's the topic of today? It takes 32 hours, 32 US hours. The federal minimum wage was what, like $7.50? $7.50 times 32.41. See, it takes it's you know, a box of Modern Horizons, what, like around $250-ish dollars, 32 hours. You think kids have that sort of money? No. No, kids don't have this sort of money. This is not a children's card game. This is... Well, I wouldn't say it's too complicated to be a children's card game, because they can just make up the rules and fill in the gaps. We all learn the same way. We draw our card, untap our stuff afterwards, then attack, then play... Or to play stuff first, play out our hand, then attack, pass the turn. So, I mean, you don't really need to know the rules that deeply to start. But the point is, this is an adult card game. It's marketed towards adults. Do you notice in their commercials, there's no kids? Did you notice? Where's their latest commercial? Let's go look at their latest. Let's look at the cringe commercial. I'm gonna look for it. I'm gonna look for the cringe commercial. You show me the children in that book. Or sorry, in the show. In their commercial. YouTube. We're gonna watch the cringe commercial. Where is it? Gather. Where's the gather your greatness? Oh, here we go. We're going to watch Gather Your Greatness. This is the youngest we get. That's the youngest.
There are those among us who answer a higher call.
Is this a child? No, not a child.
Beyond the mechanical,
easily in the 20s.
And mundane tasks.
This person has a finance degree, I think. I can't tell if she's an artist or she works in finance. She's like an artist as a... She has like these finance graphs in front of her. But at the very least, she's in her 30s. Or close to 30.
One of powers beyond imagining.
This guy might be 17 to 19.
Once you've figured out the basics. Possibilities beyond reckoning.
Still no children. This guy's a responsible adult. He has a job. He goes to work. Now he's buying his breakfast cereal. See, the thing is, the children don't have the money. They don't have any money. Their pockets are empty.
Where total mastery awaits.
The guy at the gym is the one that ropes you when they start losing. Yeah, we're just gonna keep up with the push-ups. Yeah, here's the witchcraft. I wonder what this guy would say about this commercial right now. That guy reviews MTG commercial. Look, it's just witchcraft. They're just... Look at this witchcraft. They're wizards using staffs and bows and magic. They're indoctrinating satanic messages into our children.
On the epic strategy game. How you play it and who shares the journey.
I think they're at the bar. I swear they're at a bar. What do you guys think? They're like at the top floor of a bar or something like that. Everyone's having a good time, a party. Not for kids. They might as well say it's ages 18 and up. I mean, kids do get into the game, but like it's not where it's marketed. I mean, it might be like more of a top-down approach where they get you, the adult, into it, and then you feed it to the kids. The kids say, hey, what's mommy and daddy playing right now? Magic the Gathering. We're gathering our greatness, kids. We're gathering the greatness. Yeah, adult drinks. Adult everything. But anyway, that's the point. And I got a beat out of everyone calling this a children's card game. It is far and beyond not a children's card game anymore. Now you look at the old... Hold on, did I just hear... I could swear I just heard my thing buzz. Hold on, give me a second. Sorry, I thought I heard the telecom buzz. It was nothing. It was just my imagination. Now, in the old commercials, they did promote it to kids. Magic the Gathering ad. These are the old ads. Where's the old ad? There we go. I found one. Have you ever tried mushrooms? What is with these commercials? Canadians now have access to safe. Oh God. Don't do drugs, kids.
Experts test combat strategies using subjects selected from the general public.
Where do you get these kids?
I can't hear this.
I'm unblockable! What are you waiting
See, this is when they were marketing it to kids. They have kids in the commercial. This guy's freaking out for nothing. He didn't even have the mana to cast the card that he wanted.
You ready to feel the pain?
But anyway, those kids are now adults. And they are marketed now to adults. The kids grew up. And now they gather their greatness. I am a kid and can say that there are still kids playing. Oh, there's tons of kids playing Magic. Like, the story I hear is like, you have a bunch of rubbish cards and you can't afford any of the good stuff. And then you become an adult. And then you start buying the good stuff. But the Wizards is basically marketing this now to people with jobs. So, you know, basically, between the ages of like 20 to 45, that is their demographic that they're mainly focusing on. And then because I mean, those are the people paying. Those are the people paying. And if anyone else wants to play the game, whether they're 80 years old or 8 years old, that's just gravy for them. I wonder how, I mean, this is an old Magic the Gathering commercial. I wonder how Wizards feels about the drug commercials showing up on related content of theirs. All right, it's time for Decklist review. So if you want your 75 to get reviewed on this channel, hey, go into my description. There's a link to my Discord. You join the Discord. You go to channel Decklist review. You enter the command !review deck space, give the URL to your decklist. You'll be eligible at random for Decklist review. That's how it's done. Magic Mushrooms the Gathering. Ho, ho, ho. Maybe there is some untapped potential there for Magic. Wizards might start selling mushrooms and then realize, this business is better than selling trading cards. And then imagine they start selling mushrooms and then they just start selling proxies, like a lot, you know, just basically blank cards, and you fill in the blanks. You can fill them in with a marker, you can fill them in with mushrooms. There are 0 kids playing Magic the Gathering in my local game store. The youngest player is probably 25. I see kids, but like it's rare. It's just like it's 1 out of 25. I don't know. It's less than 1 out of 25 people. It's not common. I don't know how often kids show up, but it's not much. Like actual kids. Nikachu, you are too short-sighted. Wizards must market the game towards children. Why? Children don't have money. Why not market it to people who have money? And then as they grow, and then that's it. They don't need to market it. I mean, ideally, you can market you market it towards children. But I think what they realize, they just make more money marketing it towards people who are like around 22 years old, or they're still young, but they have money for the game. You really have to burn a lot of money into this game. Like, you have to pour tons and tons of... I mean, it's an expensive game. It's not cheap. My Nintendo Switch and a few games cost less than what Magic the Gathering is. It's got to be cheaper to buy an entire deck from TCG and ship it than buy it in a store. Depends on the store, but generally, yes. That's correct. This is exactly what happened to me. I played at M15 with a 7 Minotaur Tribal deck. I just bought into CD, EDH, and Modern because now I got a job and I can afford the Shocklands. Yes, you have money. You can afford good stuff. So they directly market people with money, and I think just the culture... I'm curious, how do young people learn about this game? Because they are not pushing it towards those people. They're just not. I could buy a PS5 at scalper prices for less than most modern decks. That's correct. I bought my Switch, a controller, this controller, Mario Maker, and for 700 Canadian dollars. 700 Canadian dollars. I have a Switch OLED, the Pro controller. Like 700 Canadian dollars. That's like 600 American. And you could still get tons more games. You know, it's insane. Yeah, well, I think that might be their kid generator. Is that you can show them Arena, and it's technically free, and they can go wild on it if they want. All right, let's go look at some deck lists on Decklist Review. Boom. Mechanical Error. Congratulations, you're the next contestant on Decklist Review. When we moved to Coffee and MTG streams, like, did people just not realize that we moved? What's going on here? Because I feel like we're seeing the same people on Decklist Review over and over again. Mechanical Error, the zombie deck. Carrion Feeder, Champion of the Parish, Diregraphed Captain. Didn't we just see it? We saw a zombie deck yesterday. Geralf's Messenger, Gravecrawler. Oh, Jade or Ghoul Caller. I like this one. At the beginning of your end step, if you control no creature with Decayed, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. I like this card. I actually like this card a lot. Plague Belcher, Relentless Dead, Shambling Ghast. Oh yeah, this is the when it dies, choose one, create treasure token, or maybe kill a creature. Undead Augur, Cavernous Souls, Dark Slick Shores, Godless Shrine, Polluted Delta, 6 Swamp, Urborg, 4 Water Grave. Ah, you have Aether Vial. Okay. Oh, and you have the Malakir Rebirth and 3 Fatal Push. Do you have fetch lands for this Fatal Push? Yeah, sort of. You have some. I might put a few more fetch lands in this deck. What do you need the white for? What's with these crappy Oh, Prismatic Ending? Well, that can't work. 1 Godless Shrine, which can be found off of 3 Polluted Delta. Are you kidding me? That is not happening. There's some card draw here. We have, what's it called? The Undead Augur. Okay, so scrap I don't even know why you want Prismatic Ending in the deck, and you don't even have, you have 5, basically 5 mana sources to find Prismatic Ending mana. The deck wants to beat your opponent by attacking with creatures while getting value when they die. That's totally fair. Okay, you just get rid of Prismatic Ending and add something else. That's all. I know, I said we're making the move every day for a month. We actually have a lot of viewers today. We had almost 200, which was way higher than usual. But like on the old channel, we averaged like 250, 350, so we're missing a lot of people. No, it's got to be a sideboard card. So I would say replace Godless Shrine with another fetch land. I would also say replace maybe another swamp with a fetch land, just so that you have enough. I don't love putting fetch lands in the deck for the sake of having fetch lands, but we do have Fatal Push. We do have to get Revolt. Or maybe we don't. Sorry, we do have Carrion Feeder. Okay, so maybe it's not as important. Just replace 1 Godless Shrine with a fetch land or a Dark Slick Shores. Maybe a Dark Slick Shores is just better. So you have more blue sources for... Yeah, maybe it's a Dark Slick Shores. Or Cavernous Souls, actually. You can just replace it with Cavernous Souls. How many? 3, 4, 8, 10. Oh, yeah. You could make this another You can make this another Cavernous Souls. And get rid of Prismatic Ending. Put another Nihil Spellbomb or... What is Meat Hook Massacre? Enters the battlefield, each creature gets -X until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Whenever a creature an opponent control dies, you gain 1 life. Why? Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. You gain 1 life. I guess what is like trying to beat like an Ensnaring Bridge? Which is not terrible. It's just like you have a lot of cards in your deck already that do something like this. Like Plague Belcher is whenever a zombie you control dies, they lose a life. Same thing with the Diregraphed Captain. So it's like it's a very similar effect, and I don't see the point of it. I'd have 2 more Plague Belchers before this, so I might have this to be something else. It's not unrealistic to have well, I don't. Okay, hold on. Again, you know what? I could suggest again a Void Mirror for this deck. I don't think this deck does very well versus like the Cascade decks. So it doesn't seem unrealistic to have a Void Mirror in this deck. Crippling Fear. Choose a creature type. Creatures that aren't of the chosen type get -3/-3 until end of turn. This is like okay, but it's clunky. Like this deck only plays 20 lands. Oh, sorry, 21 lands. The deck has 21 lands. It's close. I'm not a fan of these sort of cards. You just let all your stuff die. No big deal. But you don't have enough white source. You have 5 white sources. I'm sorry, that's not going to work. We're not going to make hey, Prismatic Ending is a great card, but that doesn't mean you just shove it in any deck. Because the Brazilian players are here, maybe. Well, I mean, I don't want to replace anything with Village Rites, because that seems like a crappy sideboard card. But definitely instead of 2 Prismatic Endings, 2 Void Mirror, and then 2 of something else. Maybe more removal. Like, you don't have that much removal. Put a 4th Fatal Push, and maybe 1 Bloodchief's Thirst. I think that would be fine. And that's it. I mean, the rest of the deck is solid. Good luck. Or you could have Inquisition. It's like basically like a 5th Thoughtseize if you really need it for the combo matchups. Next, Mareep King. Congratulations, Mareep. You're here every day. And you are the king of the Mareeps. We're doing Decklist review now. You got Rakdos. So first off, you misspelled Rakdos. It doesn't use a C, but fortunately, it doesn't change your win rate that much, so I'll allow it. We have Lurrus, Dothy Voidwalker, 3 Croxa, 4 Inquisition, 4 Raven's Crime, 4 Thoughtseize, 4 Mind Wrench. Oh, we got the Rack. This is like the Rack in the way that I would like to see the Rack. You should have probably 4 Croxa. I don't think you want less than 4. Like, this is a very good card in the deck. Like, and you don't even mind that, like, it doesn't matter if it's legendary, because you just sack it. You're just playing it, and you make them discard a card, so definitely play 4. The Rack. Oh. I get it now. You got me. I didn't know until I saw the deck list. I spoke too soon. Alright, so, for Croxa. This is a better win condition than Dothy Voidwalker. This is way more likely to be resilient to removal, and it's not bad in multiples, because you play 1, it's not even sitting on the board, it's just going to get removed from the board because you didn't escape it. So you can have multiples in your hand, it doesn't matter. It achieves the same thing that you're doing with all these other cards, which is just get rid of the cards in your opponent's hand. So play 4 of these, maybe play 1 less Funeral Charm, because this is one of the less impressive cards. So you have an Expedition Map, 4 Rack, 4 Shrieking Affliction. I love it. 1 Urza's Saga. 1? Why 1? Oh, what a mistake. No, we have to have more. You can't afford more? No, this is like one. This is the. I think this is the reason we go this route. Maybe, and I would go more than 20 lands. I might go to 23. I might replace some Funeral Charms with more Urza Sagas. Honestly, I'm not impressed with Dothy Voidwalker. We could gut this card. This is... The thing is, like, if you have Dothy Voidwalker, you give your opponent something to do with their removal. In my opinion. But if you, if we get rid of Dothy Voidwalker, their removal sucks. I mean, okay, technically you could just, like, empty their hand and then, you know, battle on the ground with Urza Saga, but... Maybe he only owns one copy. Where are you, Mareep King? I know you're here. Don't be hiding. Trade Tarash for the... Oh, that could be a point. Yeah, maybe the Tarash is better than the Voidwalkers. And now I don't know how he spells his name. Him to Torak. I mean, maybe. It's very good. It's very good when you hit the kicker, and it uses a colorless, so you could use Urza Saga for the colorless. You know what? I'm gonna pass on the smallpox because I think it's more. I think our lands are valuable for both Urza Saga and Kroxa. So I actually wouldn't play smallpox in this deck, but this is definitely moving in the direction that I think this deck should go. Another thing to consider is not playing Fatal Push and playing with Bolt. Lightning Bolt. Because Lightning Bolt still kills a lot of the relevant things that you need to kill, but this is all about damage, and if you deal enough, if your opponent gets their life total low enough, then you just bolt them to death, and you win. So that's another thing to consider. I would definitely up the number of sagas. I don't know how many you can get away with. If you need double black on turn 2, that means you need 18 black sources, so play one more saga over, say... What's this for? I know it dredges. It's okay, I guess. Over, say, a snow-covered swamp, I guess. And then I would gut maybe 2 more Funeral Charms for more Urza Sagas, because Urza Saga can find the rack and also put stuff on the battlefield, like put creatures. Like, it's a legitimate threat by itself. I don't know how many sagas. Oh, maybe I can look up, what's it called? Spider space the rack. Is his deck list gonna show up? Damn it, I don't think it's showing up. Oh, maybe it is here. The power of the internet. Control F. Oh, Control F don't work here? Well, we have to look for his damn deck list. I just want to know what... Because he had, there we go. 8 rack with Urza Saga. They called it Spice, but it just makes sense. Yeah, by Spider Space. So, like, oh, and the only creature in his deck was Kroxa. So this went 5-0. And this makes perfect sense. Now, I don't know if you need this much removal. Like, he seems to be on a heavy removal suite. But he played with 4 racks. Oh, it was also... He also played with, like... what did he play with? He actually didn't even play with that many racks. Like, he had 4 racks for Urza Saga and no what's it called? No Shrieking Affliction. So I don't know how I feel about that. But, like, so I went here for the mana base. I'd copy this mana base. For Urza Saga, it's exactly as I said. We take out a swamp, we play the 4 Urza Saga, and we have 18 black sources for a Wrench Mine. This is basically it. Boom. So that's what I would recommend for our mana base. And you can, like, you know, whatever. You want to play Castle Lothwain. Can you get away with that? Yeah, you probably can. That's okay. That rack deck looks good. Played on stream. The stream has been bought on Sunday, and then for the next few weeks, I'm only playing Merfolk to prepare for Vegas. Got to prepare for Vegas, people. I'm not... This is the most expensive trip I've ever paid for, mostly because I'm buying a hotel room for myself. Also, well, whatever, for whatever reason, the prices of everything have skyrocketed. Rack City MTG thinks Shrieking is not as good as Rack. He only plays with the 2. He might sideboard the other ones. Maybe with playtesting it would reveal that it's not so good, but we're on a heavy discard plan. So I would, for the other cards that we mentioned, I would gut the Dothy Voidwalker. There's just a lot of removal in the format, and it would just die for no reason. But the rest of the deck is solid. Fulminator Mage and sideboard doesn't work well with Lurrus. Luris is still a thing. Like, you know, we don't mind playing with Luris. Bring our expedition map back. Now, what is the sideboard? Let's look at the sideboard. Nihil, Spellbomb, Pithing Needle, Surgical Extraction, Abrade, Feed the Swarm, 2 Ratchet Bomb, 1 Luris. We don't have anything for Tron. Do we? Do we need any? Maybe we don't. I wonder what the match. What is the matchup like versus Tron? Is it good? Because they mulligan down to like 5 very often, and then you just chew away a few of their cards. And sure, their top decks are bombs, but they're empty-handed, and then the racks just eat up their life total really quickly. I will not be fully foiled in Vegas. I have not been collecting foils since Modern Horizons 1. I will be... And also Coffee and MTG, just a heads up, will probably be gone from November 18th to November 22nd. It'll be out of contention. Because that Fulminator Mage, I think, is the only thing for Tron that I would want to be prepared. It's the only reason I would play this. But then even then, I don't know if Fulminator Mage is the best card for this deck. You would just play Break the Ice. Probably just play this. If you really need to play anything at all. Anyway, those. The rest of it is fine. Yeah, the rest of it is fine. Looks great. Thank you for submitting the deck list. I think 8-Rack has something to it. I, like, legitimately do. I think you should splash red. You get in there with Croxa and perhaps Lightning Bolt. I don't know what the best balance is, but you just splash red, and I think 8-Rack has some chance. Some nice, delicious chance. All right, that's going to be it for Coffee and MTG today. As usual, if I didn't get to your comments, questions, or deck list, we do this from Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. If you love Coffee and MTG, you want to support the channel, you can always drop a sub at twitch.tv/Nikachu MTG. You can become a patron at patreon.com, or you can hit the join button on YouTube. So thank you very much, everyone, for making me a part of your daily routine. So keep brewing up that coffee, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care, and I will see you all next time.